Hello, thanks for joining us. The three-day Linden Exposition and Trade Fair was held over the weekend. The event, a collaborative effort of the Linden Chamber of Industry, Commerce and Development and the Linden Enterprise Network and the Linden Mayor Anton Council, was hosted under the theme Exploring Opportunities, Empowering Businesses in a Green 2018. The expo was declared open by President David Granger. We now bring you the President's address in its entirety.
I'm always happy to come to Linden. I'm always guaranteed a warm reception. Sometimes too warm, but a couple of weeks ago I was here at Victory Valley to see the great things that this town is doing. And I'm happy to be here again. I believe that this trade fair today exemplifies the efforts which Linden is making, continues to make, to encourage entrepreneurship, to enable employment for its young people and for its households, and to establish a resilient economy in these changing times in this very important region. As the chairman of the chamber has said, Linden is centrally placed in Guyana, and it is expected, like all other capital towns, to drive, to propel development in this great region. Nearly 20,000 square kilometers. Region 10, the Upper Demerara Berbice region, is bigger than the state of Kuwait. And Linden is the dynamo, the powerhouse that is driving this great region. This is a beautiful and bountiful region. And you possess strategic advantages, although sometimes I think that sometimes Londoners sit on their hands. As your chairman would know, I repeatedly say this is the only region that straddles the three main rivers of Guyana, Demerara, Essequibo, and Berbice. This is the only region that borders 6 other regions: the West Demerara, East Demerara, West Berbice, East Berbice, Cuyuni, and Pataro. 6 regions could be accessed from this region. Region 10, really, and Linden particularly, is the rail gateway to the rest of Guyana. To get to Brazil, you have to pass through Linden if you go by road. To get to the gold fields, to get to the savannas of the Rupununi, you have to pass through Linden. Linden is accessible by air. You have an aerodrome not far from here. Accessible by water, the Great Demerara. And you had, I say you had, because we have to restore it, the best highway in the country. Yes. You're going to have it again.
Yes, all right.
So by air, by river, and by land, Linden is accessible, is the navel of this region. And if you've been hearing the trucks roll by, you can see that you have abundant natural resources. The logs that you've been seeing here, the bauxite, our rich forests, and our rich mines. But you also have other resources, abundant wildlife, fish, birds, an attractive environment, pointing to your ecotourist potential. Linden is also, in its own way, a center of intelligence. I like to tease some of the Lindeners in Georgia If you throw a stone in the air, it will land on a PhD, a Linden PhD. I've never seen a little tongue produce so many PhDs in my life. You have educational institutions. We're standing in the compound of one. You have a multilateral school, primary and secondary schools. In fact, I remember it was from a young man of this community that I got the idea of launching something called the BEST, the Burnham Education Scholarship Trust. Because even when I was in opposition, and those greenbacks were hard to come by, we were able to give him a scholarship to Queen's College. He was the first student from Linden, Regma, to top the country. And I think he lost his computer, or somebody stole it from him. Somebody felt he had one computer too many. He wasn't in Linden at the time, he was in Georgetown. People don't steal computers in Linden. And he met me and he got another computer. So I hope he knows that our commitment to education, but he himself made Linden proud by demonstrating that Linden could be scholarship winners as well. And after the bauxite industry went into decline, you'd find Lindeners, not only in the gold fields, but also in Suriname. They continued to work. They continued to be skilled miners and workers. So Linden has the capability to advance by leaps and bounds, by employing its human resources, its talent, by exploiting its agricultural, mineral, and other natural resources, by adding value. I'm tired of seeing the logs going out of this country. Tired. I want to see furniture going out of the country. Tired of people smuggling raw gold. I want to see jewelry shops in Linden. I always tell of my experience campaigning in Kalkuni in the Berbice River. I've never seen so many logs in a pontoon. Tall like a house, chock full of logs. Huge pontoons of bauxite, all heading north. We have to add value to these important products of our country if we are able to become rich. And this exhibition is an opportunity for innovation so that we stop being hewers of wood and become manufacturers of furniture. This exhibition is an opportunity for us to be innovative, to get out of the old mindset of just mining and producing raw materials. This exhibition is an opportunity for us to attract investments. I'm sure, like other parts of the Caribbean, maybe other parts of Guyana, there are so many Lindeners out of the country, out of the region. I'm confident they'll be willing to invest in their hometown if they felt that the investment would be safe and profitable. And why not? Where will investment come from? Charity begins at home. You can't expect other people to start the ball rolling. I reckon there are more Guyanese living outside of Guyana than in Guyana. All you have to do is crash a plane in the Twin Towers and see how many Guyanese dead. All you have is a hurricane in the Caribbean, you see how many Guyanese run home. Guyanese, like, they're all about the place. But I'm sure, having met them myself in the diaspora, that more could be done to attract Lindeners to come back to their hometown and invest. You need investment. LEN is good, but free investment of entrepreneurs is better because they demonstrate the confidence in commerce and the confidence in the construction industries and the confidence in agriculture and other economic activities. You need information technology to know what the market wants. Unfortunately, people are using information technology to find what Linden wants, and they're bringing food from outside of Linden because they know they have a market here. But if you use that information technology, you can find out what other people want. Harmony has asked for some stools. I will give them the stools. But I've insisted the stools have to be made here. I'm not bringing stools from outside of the region. Thank you for your applause. You have the wood, you have the talent, and I will provide the capital so that Harmony gets tools for the laboratory. You get the message, you clap steady now. You have to industrialize. You have the skills. We are standing in a technical institute compound this afternoon. So let us bring these things together. Investment, innovation, information technology, and industrialization, and get Linden moving. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to these physical attributes and assets, Linden has a very strong sense of communal solidarity. You test them, and you see how Linden comes together. And that shared sense of community, the shared values, bind this region together. Over the last 100 years, people have come from all parts of Guyana to settle in Linden. Every time there's a funeral, they're going back to West Coast with peace. They're going to East Demerara. They're going to West Demerara. But they are Lindeners now. And this new generation know and feel and think and believe that they are Lindeners. Granny still lives at Hope Town, but they are Lindeners. Their children will be Lindeners. And that shared sense of community itself is a powerful asset for economic development. It's a resource which some other communities don't possess. Even though you came from many communities, you're now one community. As I said, this is the epicenter. This town is the epicenter of economic development. Because the capital towns, the concept of capital towns that we introduced in the wake of the elections in 2016 will make itself manifest in years to come. In 1 year, we created 3 towns. And it's a marvel to see what is taking place in those towns at Linden, Bartik, and Mabaruma. There's somebody from Bartik is waving in the front row. But I grew up in Bartik. They call it the Golden Beach, along the waterfront there. But when I went there on Easter Sunday, I was breathless to see what a new elected town council, a democratic council, could have done with that waterfront. And I've told Cabinet that every capital town in Guyana sits on a river. Mabaruma is on a river, Linden is on a river, Bartik is on a river, New Amsterdam is on a river, Linden is on a river. And that view I saw at Bartica could be a blueprint for improving all of our tongues. And I walked in the sun picketing Donald Ramatar to have local government elections. And less than a year after I got into office, we had local government elections. And I'm proud that we now have elected town councils in Mabaruma, Bartica, and Lethem. And more will come. You have whole regions. The Cuyuni Mazruni is bigger than the Netherlands. And Bartica was a village. How could they put Sabuna Broom's hometown as a village?
It's the wrong thing.
Wrong.
Not to David Granger.
Rupununi is bigger than Costa Rica. And it has no tongue, not a single tongue. We made Lethem a tongue. Mabaruma, 4 times the size, controls an area 4 times the size of Trinidad and Tobago, the Barima-Waini region. It is now a tongue. It is right and proper, fit and proper, that these settlements should be tongues. Linden now has a special responsibility as a capital tongue, not only to develop itself and its residents, but also to develop the entire region. So, when we have these exhibitions, Mr. Chairman, bring people in from the outlying areas, from Ituni and Kukwani, bring people from the rivers so that they can show off their goods. Go up the Barbies River, go up the Demerara River. You'll see beautiful products, hammocks, crafts, food. So let us make this exhibition a real regional exhibition. Give your grandchild to turn it off. No. It's for your cell phone. Give your granddaughter. You know, big people don't turn off their phone. You know. Can't get your And this is another beautiful development because the region is what will develop Guyana. I don't believe in one minister staying at 4th Street, Kingston, trying to run a whole region from Georgetown. I want the regions to run themselves, like states in the United States of America. There will always be a central government. I come from the central government. Rennes Morian comes from the regional administration. And Ms. Arundel comes from the local administration. And those 3 levels have to work together. Central, regional, and local. Or else we can't sing. We can't fight, Matty. You have to work together. But the region, this area the size of Kuwait is where I see development taking place. That's why I mentioned your own aerodrome, your own highways. And I'm very happy to have been able to go to what I call the Regional Agricultural Commercial Exhibition in the Pomeroon Supernam region at Anna Regina, to go to Bad Settlement in West Berbice, to come here last year in Upper Demerara, to go to Rupununi at Lethem. Every region should have a strong regional chamber of commerce. And I'm glad to see that the Chamber of Commerce here is strengthening again. It used to be much stronger. But I'm glad that under this chairman, I can feel the energy coming out again. But I'm moved to tears when I see the efforts of housewives, young people, to put their best foot forward in these regional exhibitions. As if their life depended on it. In Rupununi, for example, you see housewives traveling miles from Yupukari and Iowa, and even my Charlton, bringing their honey, bringing their cassava, bringing their kazarip to show at their regional exhibition. I started to tease them. I said, why are you putting your gazrip in vodka bottles? I say, you and your husband got a good thing going. He empty the bottle, then you fill it, no? But the chairman said the same thing. Let's get improved packaging, improved marketing, improved bottling, so that you put your products on the shelves of the supermarkets. Nobody's going to buy plantain chips if you just knot the neck. Sometimes you knock a little ants and cockroach inside. You have to be high standards, and this exhibition must be innovative. It must set those high standards if you want to market your produce in the supermarkets of Guyana and further afield. So Linden and this exhibition must become a beacon for commerce. That's what you call yourself, commerce, and also for manufacturing, industrialization. And you must leverage your status as a capital town. You must leverage your status as being central in the navel of Guyana. You must leverage your cultural assets, as you saw these young men dancing. You must leverage your human and natural resources, your social capital, to bring prosperity to this region. This is a good start, but it's only a start. Those of you who are older would know that Linden had different days, different times. And some people were unprepared to change, but change is inevitable. So we have to make the best of the changing circumstances with which we are faced. But it doesn't mean that we must be desperate. It doesn't mean that we must be depressed. New opportunities beckon, as Bob Marley says.
Yes.
When one door is closed, but don't teach your children, teach them proper English. When one door is closed, another is open. Don't take your English lessons from Bob Marley. Many more is open. But when one door is closed, the backside door is closing a little bit. There are many other opportunities in furniture manufacture, in food processing, agro-processing, in jewelry, and in the provision of services, internet and other services. You know, there's a West African proverb from the Bambara people in what is now present-day Mali. And it says that, or they said, that God said, you know, a lot of people in this world say things that God said, he never said anything. But the Bambara people said, God said, he gives nothing to those who keep their arms crossed. God gives nothing to those who keep their arms crossed. So this is the time, Linden, for uncrossing your arms, for unfolding your arms.
Yes.
Or else you'll get no help.
Yes.
Either from God or man.
Yes. See?
Although I've been known to help schools, like Harmony. Although I went over to Victory Valley to see what other people have provided for the entertainment and the recreation of that community. So this exhibition is important for me. It's not just a demonstration, a display of goods. It's a manifestation of the spirit of Linden. The spirit to overcome the difficulties, the challenges, and the changes that have taken place in this community. It demonstrates that you are prepared to help yourselves. This is what God likes. If I can speak for him. This is what God likes. He's going to help you if you uncross your arm. You just watch and pray. So this exhibition today, this trade fair, year after year will help you to measure your progress. Not only with the number of booths, but also with the complexity of the products, more agro-processing, a wider range of goods to satisfy the needs of Lindeners. So school children don't have to buy sugar water from foreign countries. I can't call the foreign countries' name because I'm a head of state and they may just call my name and I can't call the name, but you don't have to buy sugar water from other countries. We can produce right here in Linden the most nutritious fruit drinks that our school children need. So year by year, try to measure your progress in terms of the achievements of this exhibition. More furniture, more food stuff, more agro-processing, more manufacturing goods. This exhibition is an opportunity too to showcase the development of this independent and resilient economy. That the time will come when you don't bring goods into Linden. You come to Linden to buy goods to take to other parts of the country. This exhibition will help to make Linden into a business center. That people who want to get rich, people who want to open businesses will come here to recruit information technology experts, to recruit talented and skilled craftsmen. They'll come to Linden to find that talent, to find those resources. And people who come from overseas, not only Lindeners coming back for Tongue Week, but people will come here from Brazil because they're looking for outlets for their products. Brazilians were in Linden, at Linden Lethem Tongue Week, where Lethem had the regional agricultural commercial exhibition, selling their fertilizers, selling their agro products. I mean, Lethem is right there next to a brick, one of the richest countries in the world. And Lethem is like a little mouse sleeping with an elephant. It could get crushed if it doesn't have a resilient economy. And you too can attract entrepreneurs from that country. Many years ago, when as a young officer, I was going to Manaus to be trained at the Jungle Warfare School then. I don't want to call the year because the Ministry of Natural Resources is going to laugh at me. But Guyanese were taking jeans, denims made in Georgetown, to sell in Manaus, which was a zona franca. Now stuff is moving the other direction. Guyanese were thinking of setting up chicken farms in Lethem to sell the chicken meat in northern Brazil. And people are prepared to fly into this country. That is one of the reasons I want to create these capital towns. So you don't have to go to Eugene Correa. You don't have to go to Cherry Jag. You come straight here, do your business and fly straight back out. That's why I want to see strong regions. Every region must have its own port of entry. So you don't have to go through Georgetown red tape. Every region will have its own sports stadium. Every region will have its own colleges. I met a young man at Silver City. Tells me how much he has to pay to go to UG every week, every month to attend classes. With information technology, you bring the classes to the people, not the people to the classes. So they could just come to a center right here. And by distance learning, they can get their degrees. All these things are possible. And I'd like to see this exhibition. I haven't seen this yet. I'd like to see this exhibition as a platform for innovation and introducing these technologies. So this exhibition is important for me. It will stimulate economic development in this region. As I said, I've been to half a dozen other regions, and I've seen, even here at Linden, people bringing out animals, people bringing out their best honey. But somebody said, you know, Guyana is a land of samples. You tell a man to bring out some ashtrays or make some honey. See 6 beautiful bottles. You say, your honey? Yes. Could have 6,000 to export to Grenada? No. They don't want to do that. They just bring 6 for the sample. You tell them to make some ashtrays, they can get 12. Can they get 1,200? No. We must stop being a nation of samples and start looking for markets on a grand scale, on an industrial scale. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I'm happy to be here, happy to be welcomed by Pastor MacDonald with his beautiful, eye-watering music. I'd like to congratulate the organizers of this exhibition, but more important, I'd like to ask that you pay attention to the words of the chairman of the chamber, and also to my own expectations that this exhibition would be a springboard for the economic revival of this town and this region. And may God bless you all. Thank you.
You are watching a feature on President David Granger's address at the Linden Exposition and Trade Fair held over the weekend. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.